Match number 41 in Bengaluru. It's New Zealand versus Sri Lanka. Now let's set this up for you because it's a big one for New Zealand. They've won 4 and they've lost the last 4. So their campaign has sort of gone off track. Let's set this up for you with a look at the points table. Why is this match so important for New Zealand? Sri Lanka are looking at a Champions Trophy spot. So let's bring up that points table. Yeah, there it is. And Joy Bhattacharjya will tell us why New Zealand have to win tomorrow.
So New Zealand basically need to win to get to 10 points, because 10 points, if they get to 10 points, they have that plus 0.398 run rate. So it'll keep them to safety.
Yep.
The only 2 teams who can catch them up at this point in time are Pakistan and Afghanistan.
Yep.
They have an advantage against both in terms of run rate. Afghanistan is very far behind in run rate. So Afghanistan is going to struggle even if they win that last match. And I think Afghanistan's last match is against Australia.
Against South Africa and
South Africa.
Yeah, we'll bring up that match schedule as well. South Africa play Afghanistan.
Pakistan play England.
England in Kolkata.
Pakistan play England in Kolkata. The only advantage Pakistan has is when if New Zealand wins tomorrow, whatever margin they win by, Pakistan will know what to do on the last day. But it's going to be very, very difficult odds. For Pakistan to have a realistic chance of qualifying, New Zealand must lose tomorrow.
Rain will not help. Pakistan are hoping for rain. But
rain will help
Have
for
to have
sure.
a full game.
Rain will help for sure for Pakistan if New Zealand match is washed out.
Yeah.
If rain comes for Pakistan match, it's definitely not going to help. But yes, tomorrow, obviously, the beauty of this tournament somehow has been the fact that every game has had some context or the other. First, it was trying to qualify for the semis, and suddenly this Champions Trophy came along, and everybody's like, wow, there's something to play for. This game could have been a very, very quiet game in terms of what it meant to the tournament, but there was a team which was playing for Champions Trophy admission, and it was good to see that happening. And hence, this tournament, the last leg, the last 5 games to go, again has a lot of context.
Well, New Zealand lost despite scoring 400 against Pakistan. It was Duckworth, Lewis and Stern, that trio that helped Pakistan. Of course, Fakhar Zaman, that magical 100 as well. The selection of Ish Sodhi backfired. So let's pull up the New Zealand squad to figure what they can do. Remember, they are playing in Bengaluru once again. And Lockie Ferguson, I've been told, is fit and available to be picked. So would you make that change? Bolt hasn't had a great World Cup. What would you do, Joy?
I would definitely go straight Lockie for Ish Sodhi straight off. Straight off, I'd take that substitution 100%. Against a Sri Lankan side, I would go in with the faster bowler. Definitely, if you look at the rest of the team, there is not very much more you can change if you want to. I mean, Williamson coming back, he immediately came back and got runs instead of Will Young. Conway is okay. Glenn Phillips, as I said, I feel sometimes he's batted a bit low, but I don't know how they can move him up the order given the other batsmen out there. Look, this is a set team. They played to their potential. I mean, the last match, if you score 400 and lose because of, there's not very much you can do. So I think Lockie definitely in. I don't see any other changes.
For you?
Same thing.
Same thing. Okay, let's move on to Sri Lanka. They had a very controversial outing against Bangladesh. That Angelo Matthew Shakib Al Hasan hopefully will be left behind. Let's not talk any more about that. Sri Lanka played their last league game. It just hasn't worked out for them. But you want to end this World Cup on a winning note and help their fellow Asian team Pakistan by beating New Zealand.
Look, irrespective of whether they help Pakistan or not, they need to help themselves. I think they need a win. There's a lot of turmoil happening in the association right now as we're speaking here. So those things never help. But at this point of time, they need a win. It just feels like they've had a very, very ordinary tournament.
Yep. Sri Lanka played really well in that last game. Runs are not coming up top, so if we could bring up that Sri Lanka squad, Joy, would you make that change? Would you maybe bring back Dimuthu Karunaratne in for the struggling Kusal Pereira?
Last match, I'm honest, Kushal Pereira has given us nothing at this point in time.
Yep.
But in the last match to make a change, I'm just thinking, looking at the fast bowlers and seeing if there's anywhere else they can go. But I don't think Velalage, this is the kind of surface you play Velalage or Hemanta. Maybe they think of Hemanta, but I won't think so. There's no other change that comes to my head.
How about Velalage in for Tikshana? Velalage bats a bit as well.
But look, Tikshana, for whatever it is large. I mean, he hasn't performed well, but he's one of their cornerstones. But I mean, I can't see any other thing. In a Bangalore pitch to bring in a spinner first off, it's not going to be easy for anyone to bowl.
And also there is as much as Sri Lanka is eliminated, they also have a place
Champions
Trophy, and you know it's going to come to a stage between Sri Lanka and Bangladesh probably for one spot with the way things are going. So there's a lot riding on them as well. So they will be looking and trying to do their best to get across the line against New Zealand. In terms of the 11, I think they'll try and stick to the same 11 only because you know Kusal Perera has been very, very okay through the tournament. And even the last game, he looked like he was struggling, but they just made the change. They made Karunaratne play a couple of games and they brought back Kusal Perera. I don't think they're going to go back to Karunaratne. They don't have another opener, so they'll stick there. The bowling was okay. I mean, they couldn't complain too much. The 3 fast bowlers and then the 2 spinners. So, you know, I don't think they can go too far out for any changes and they'll just stick to that.
Yep, Pakistan will be watching this game very, very closely, hoping for a washed out game or a Sri Lanka win. If you're watching our pre-show carefully, I'm sure you made note of a very, very difficult joy factor question. Let's bring it up once again. But before we do that, how about I get my experts to tell me their players to watch out for, one each?
For me tomorrow, look, I think Kushal Mendis started this tournament really well.
Yep.
I'd like him to end well. I'd really like him to end well. And I think tomorrow given what happened last time they played, you know, I think they need an enforcer. I think Lockie Ferguson is very important. Hopefully one of their fast bowlers, and I think Lockie's the one I'm going to back.